Hey everybody, my name is Ben. I like talking about apologetics and philosophy. I recently posted a reel on Instagram.com/Ben Heinrichs. Kind of rage baity, but talking about, hey, atheist agnostics, tell me what your most devastating, genuine, soul-wrenching reasons to believe God doesn't exist without copying Alex O'Connor. I realize I'm missing the end of that sentence. It should be God doesn't exist are. So I've already been debunked. I got so many comments on it that I thought, hey, I should go through these comments one by one and just show you guys why they're not at all convincing. Without further ado, let's get into it. This one is by Jennifer. People frame the creation of the universe as the beginning of time, but how I see it is that there was no beginning because the beginning was an infinite amount of time ago.
Both the creation like our universe in their lifetime, universe should have happened no matter how long.
Sometimes it's a challenge. 1 out of 4? Oh my goodness. Let's just address this. There's two views you can hold about the universe. One, that it had a beginning. And then the second one is that the universe never really had a beginning, but it's always just been going forward. These are the two ways you can look at it, right? Based on these two views of the universe, you have still the problem of God. Even if there was no beginning of the universe to be caused by God, the question of the eternal universe being there is best explained by God anyways. Imagine this. I have a chain and it's holding up a chandelier. Whether that chain is infinitely long or 3 links long, you know it has to connect to the ceiling. That's pretty obvious. So this is the type of, they call it hierarchical causation, that God would explain. God is the type of thing that could exist in himself. He has a necessary nature because he's perfect. He's the greatest possible thing. But the universe is just composed of things that could be otherwise. Both views of this universe are contingent. There's nothing about an infinite universe that would suggest it can just exist in itself. Why does this contingent universe have atoms? And why is it like the way it is? Why is it as big as it is? You know? So that's why we posit some hierarchical causation on it, on a necessary foundation, a foundation that couldn't not exist. And that foundation is the maximally great being, God. We have these sunglasses for when a thing is debunked. Let's go to the next answer. There are a number of comments on this post that'll just say there's just no evidence for theism, nothing soul-wrenching, it just doesn't meet the burden of proof. So what is evidence? If we hypothesis H and evidence E, then all evidence is the probability of H given E is greater than the probability of H given not E. So like, imagine I ate eggs this morning for breakfast. Well, if I burp and it tastes like eggs, the hypothesis I ate eggs is more probable because we have this new evidence coming in that my burps smell like eggs. That'd only be really expected on if I ate eggs versus not, or it's at least more expected. So to say there's no evidence for theism, that's what the belief in God is theism. To say that there's no evidence for this belief is kind of absurd because, well, any kind of religious experience people have, that's more likely if there's something to be religious about than not. Not saying it's impossible, but it's just more expected. Or say, well, why do embodied conscious agents exist, right? And we're moral too, embodied conscious moral agents. Well, it seems like God could have a very good reason to make embodied conscious moral agents, to become friends with them, or to explore a beautiful and diverse world, or to become like him in some way. And this is the Christian story, right? That God made us for a dignified purpose to reflect his image, and we turned away from him, but he sent his son to die for us, right? And this is a very beautiful story. And God would have many good reasons to bring it about because it's a very good thing to do. So that is evidence for God that we exist. You know, look at me. The fact that I exist is evidence for God. And it really means that in a very rigorous way. Debunked. Oh, this one's good. This one's good. I like this one because I hear it all the time. I'll just use the same paper, all right? Oiliades V2. Oilades? Oi ladies. Oil ladies? I might believe if the whole world did, but there are just so many religions throughout the world, like Christianity, Catholicism, Jewish, Islam, Hindu, Buddhist. This is the classic which God argument. It'll just go like this. Hey, why would I believe in one God when there are so many different options out there? Here's three views of reality, three views of science. There's a flat Earth, right? There's a globe Earth, and then there's just like nothing actually exists. These are all views, and why am I supposed to believe in one if there are just so many different views out there on it, right? The answer is because some views account for the data better than others, right? So there is a view that corresponds to reality. If you have options, you just don't deny the existence of a category. You say, okay, well, let me delve into which answer is the best. And in this case, I think Christianity is far and away the best contender for the one true religion. Debunk! You want debunking? This isn't. My rhymes are exquisite. Okay, so there's a number of comments on here that just say like something like math. Sedge, 4 numbers, says science. Cinderella says math. How about this? Shakespeare writes a book. He writes, well, it's not a book, it's a play. But it's in a book, and it's called Hamlet, right? Like, we look inside the pages and we're like, oh, look at this. There's like a string of characters, and then it ends in a period. We're calling this a law of grammar, that every sentence has to end with a period. Or, oh, look, they start with capitals. Or there's this iambic pentameter through it. How does it go again? Da 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 da. And we're saying, okay, we've found the we've observed it, we've studied it, and we found the laws of grammar. But think of this, no matter how far you study into the book, you're never going to find where the book came from. It's just like a different category. It doesn't make any sense to say that because you understand the internal workings of the book, now we can understand why the book exists at all. In its analogy, God is Shakespeare and Hamlet is the universe. We have the universe, and then it all has this molecular structure. It works this way. Apples fall from trees at this velocity, and we get the laws of science. Here we go. Pause your screen for this because I totally forgot to show this to you. The idea that the laws of science could replace the reason why the universe exists is just a category mistake, and it doesn't belong in any smart person's worldview. So we've debunked that. Yeah, of course. I'm a goat on these tracks. Favonazareth says, if he was both all-powerful and all-good, he wouldn't allow terminal illnesses to occur in children. Also, all religious scriptures get basic scientific facts wrong. Okay, Evan Walker, 4 numbers, says, he didn't tell us about germs. Watch doctors go to an autopsy and delivering a baby without washing hands, knowing the mom and the baby would die of an infection. Okay, that's heavy stuff, right? The first assumption is that God and suffering are incompatible. They just can't exist together. So I want to come into this delicately because we've all suffered and we've heard some like incredibly awful things happen to people. And I just don't want to say that God is happy about those things happening, and he really, really cares about it. So I don't want to give the impression that this is just a dumb throwaway objection. There are some assumptions, though, that just don't hold up. And let me show them to you. The idea that God can't coexist with suffering. It's called the greater goods theodicy. God has good reasons to allow things to happen, evil things, so that good things can come out of them. And really, this is the whole Christian story, is that through Jesus' death, he brings new life. To be caring and responsible and protective for somebody, you need for there to be a problem that would really harm them otherwise. Really, the only way you can have courage is if there's something to fear, or the only way you can be generous is if there's really scarcity. God has all these things in him. He is love in himself. And in order to show us what that's like and to bring about such a beautiful universe that contains these really, really rich, good things, he'll have to allow suffering. It's a little bit like there's no rainbow without the rain, right? The second assumption here is that there are no good reasons to allow suffering. Even though I just brought one up, you might be skeptical that there's any good reasons at all. So let me introduce the skeptical theist answer. This is infinite brain. Don't interpret that. But under the idea that there is omniscient God, meaning he knows everything and his mind is just unlimited, right? We are going to see mysteries in the world that he created. No, we don't have that cognitive ability to see through. And although we can ascertain some parts of it, and we can really look hard and say, oh yeah, like there's this part and this part, and I can understand it, there's no way to reach out our minds to infinite lengths in order to get all the reasons. I like to think about it like this too. I'm pretty sure, like I searched around this room before this video started, and there were no spiders in this room, right? I didn't see a single spider. But I mean, like, I didn't like comb the corner of my closet. There might be one in my laundry basket. I didn't look in there. There might be one on the bookshelf, or maybe the little one that scurried away when I was like close to seeing it. And even then, I can't look inside the walls. I'm a human. I'm very limited in what I can see. But imagine if this room was an infinite city that stretched on forever. Even if I had some pretty good tools to help me search up and x-ray everything, what are the chances that I would be able to say, yep, there are no spiders in this whole city, 0 spiders? And in this case, spiders are reasons for evil. So this is why I'm very skeptical of saying there's no good reasons for evil. We simply don't have the ability to understand if there are. The third assumption here is that love means prevention. I mean, if you've got a parent and you're running close to the road, they're going to scoop you up and I'm going to say, no, you can't go on the road because you could get hit by a car. Here's my illustration of that. Love equals prevention. This assumption is unjustified because God is fundamentally different than our parent, and he has a complete control over what's going to happen at the end. The Bible describes us a new heaven and a new earth coming in and the old order being rewritten. God's plan is to heal and restore everything, so all will be in him. This will be better than him preventing anything bad happening to us. God will not prevent the suffering that we have all the time. But what he promises to do is to heal us, to restore us, and give us an infinite amount of time to grow closer and closer to him. And this is a truly beautiful picture of what the end will be like. So suffering is debunked. 2 years ago, I deconstructed and became an atheist, but I came back through studying this stuff and I love it now. And if you're doubting, I'd love to talk with you too. If you're just having doubts and you don't know how to sort it out, let's just talk about it together. There's so much to learn and it brings clarity and it's so enchanting. Yeah, just please don't hesitate to reach out to me on my Instagram or on YouTube here. I'm trying to go into ministry full time, so there's a donation link in the bio if you want to donate. I'm pretty close to getting the full amount for the next year, and I would love to have you as a supporter. Every dollar counts, so thank you so much. Yeah, and I just hope God blesses you, and we can use this knowledge not to hit other people over the head with, but to love them with. That's what I want. Okay, until next time, see ya.